armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
Oh, glory unto Volron!
Lay down your arms and no one has to get hurt.
Silence! Traitors like you shall never walk free!
I knew you were stubborn, but you don't have to be so damn dramatic.
The flame inside deserves to be let free!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me!
No complaints here!
Thunder field! Do it! Geon! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Naturally!
Rising Wyvern!
Hands in the wind!
Here I come!
More for the stop!
Raining slash!
Field! Lunar Crimson!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Rising Wyvern!
Nothing gets by me!
Rising Victor!
Resonate with the earth!
I never miss!
Try this!
Not on my watch!
Rising Blast!
Here's a healing arc!
Bloody hell!
First aid!
It's on! Burn!
Lunar Crimson! Lunar field! Purge Malevolence!
Can't get out of
Or
this!
dig waterfall!
Rising
Sweet
Falcon!
now!
Now you see what I can do! Holding you up! Resonate with the earth!
Hey, you're really strong, Alphen!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around. As impressive as always.
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
What's with the hole here? Is that supposed to be their hideout?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug, whatever it is. Maybe it's the entrance to a path to Cyslodia. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go. I don't know when it happened, but we sure are hauling a lot of stuff these days.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Glad to hear I'm not the only one.
We should probably clear some stuff out, like our old weapons we're not using anymore. They must be in pretty bad shape by now.
No way. Those are still good as new with a little polishing. If anything, I'd say all our armor is what's weighing us down.
But that armor's also still good once you fix it up. Besides, better to have too much armor than too little. You can trust me on that one.
Well, what about all these dumb old antiques we're lugging around? If we sell those off, that should lighten our load.
Simpletons such as yourself who can't appreciate the true worth of such things is how precious art vanishes from history.
Pretty art's not gonna save you in a fight, man.
Stop it, you guys! This is no time to...
All I really meant to say is, you can tell how much we've been through by everything we're carrying around. Honestly, that's all.
Oh.
My deepest apologies. It appears that I may have rather overreacted.
Yeah, I guess it's only natural we'd have so many souvenirs by now. I might have been out of line too.
I guess all this stuff really is a sign of how far we've come together.
Yeah, every little piece is its own treasure filled with memories.
Tell me, Alphen, wherever did you learn how to wield a sword?
I was wondering the same thing too, actually. I'm guessing you knew how to fight before you met the Crimson Crows, right?
I used to be a soldier who served a Dahnan master. I never saw the guy's face, but I still fought for him because he was my employer. Looking back, it wasn't all that different from being a slave.
A Dahnan master? That must have been before the Renans brought you to Lenegis 300 years ago.
You must fight using real Dahnan techniques then.
Really? We used to have our own sword arts?
There's a lot of our own history we've lost since the Renans first invaded. It's not all magic and art. I'm sure it includes things like sword styles too. It's incredible and also a little surreal to see those arts still survive after all this time.
Not only that, but I first learned these moves while serving one ruler, only to end up turning my sword on the ruling class altogether. Pretty ironic when you think about it.
I apologize if I dredged up unfortunate memories for you.
Nah, we're good. It's in the past now. All we ever did in those days was stir up trouble.
You're using those skills for a good cause now. It's not all bad.
I suppose this is what people mean when they say that every cloud has its silver lining.
Exactly. He's using those sword skills to make the world better. Could be a lot worse.
True enough. I will stop worrying about mentioning it then.
No wonder we couldn't manage to find them. They've been holed up here all this time, hiding.
The remnants of Volron's forces. You think they were planning an ambush on Pelegion?
Possibly. Then again, knowing how blind their devotion is, maybe they were just waiting.
Waiting? For Volron, you mean?
Even though we already defeated him? But yes, I suppose you're right. For these guys, that would just be a technicality. They act more like worshippers than subjects. They're probably still in denial that he was overthrown in the first place.
Either that, or they were biding their time until the next crown contest. Either way, their allegiance is to their lord.
Who they're convinced and expectant will return. So in the meantime, they wait patiently in preparation for the day that he finally does. That's way more than just loyalty. It's no less than total subjugation.
You've noticed it, haven't you?
Notice what?
I'm referring to Shion.
I never thought you, of all people, would come to me about her.
Yes, well, what concerns me has more to do with what machinations may be currently unfolding in secret on Lenegis as we make our way along this tunnel.
And you're saying it's related to Shion in some way?
Perhaps. She believed there was a good possibility that the Renis Alma may free her from her thorns. One would think after losing the Renis Alma, she would be more dismayed, and yet she isn't. Why? There's also the matter of the power that she inherited from...
You heard what she said. She didn't know about the Maiden's power.
Mere ignorance does not preclude her deep connection to the events unfolding around us. You recall when her thorns went rampant in Castle Delpharis. I've never seen dark astral energy manifest in such a way.
I thought you said all Renans had dark astral energy inside of them.
Correct. However, what Shion exhibited was far beyond what any ordinary citizen could ever possibly possess. And let me be clear. I do not intend to cast doubt on Shion or her motives. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling that there's more to all of this than what we currently know. Do you disagree?
How much do they have to steal from us to be satisfied?
What's that thing's purpose anyway? Some kind of siphon that sends the astral energy the Lords harvested to Lenegis?
Not as far as I'm aware. That said, it has become evident since the forming of the Renis Alma, as well as other recent events, that my insight may be thin. I would, as I believe the saying goes, take what I say with a grain of salt.
No, Halim.
At the very least, I believe we can assume that whoever is pulling the strings behind the scenes has had this in the works for quite some time.
Why's that?
The people on Lenegis may have plenty of resources at their disposal, but not even they could prepare something like that in a mere month. Something of that magnitude takes considerable time, as well as a predetermined goal in mind.
Then what was the crown contest for?
At this stage, I think it was but one step in the greater scheme we see unfolding before us. What that scheme is exactly, I haven't a clue. For now, I believe we should keep moving. The path continues. It's quite possible it will take us all the way to Cyslodia.
Agreed. Let's keep moving.
So Shion's thorns are dark astral energy.
Rinwell, are you worried about Shion?
Of course I am. But I don't know how to talk to her about it.
You and me both.
Come to think of it, what happened to those 4 lights that fell from Lenegis along with the wedge?
All 4 of them scattered in different directions. It's anyone's guess where on Dana they might have landed.
I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed like those lights may have all been different elements of astral energy.
So even though they're using the wedge to siphon off energy from Dana, they're shooting it back down to Dana as well? Why?
I don't know. It all happened so suddenly.
Hopefully it's not a sign of some new threat we'll have to deal with.
But if that red woman has anything to do with the wedge, then what could that light...
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh?
The Red Woman. Shion and Dohalim said they'd never seen her before Pelegion.
Are you saying they're lying to us?
No, it's not that I think they're lying, just... There has to be some reason for it, right?
Well, one thing the 2 of them have in common is that they're both Renins.
Okay, you 2. Put a pin in it for now. I know that we're in the dark about a lot, but for now, let's focus on getting through these mountains.
Yeah, of course.
We made it to Cyslodia.
We need to get that bridge down somehow.
It looks like we can control it from our side. Let's take a closer look.
Are you okay, Law?
Oh, fine. Just thinking. The past is a real downer. That's why I'm focused on what's ahead of me. You?
Yeah. I'm going to stay the path. As long as we're all together, I know we'll be all right.
Same here. Now let's get moving.
Stop! Who goes there?
My name is Alphen. We're not your enemies.
Did you say Alphen? Slap me silly, it really is you!
Forgetting someone?
Rinwell! Oh, glad to see you're doing okay.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're patrolling the realm. Never thought I'd bump into you all on my rounds, though. Heck, enough of me, though. What's going on up in the sky? Feels like the world's gonna end.
That's what we're trying to figure out ourselves. And as it happens, I've got a big favor to ask.
I had an inkling that's why you'd come back, as soon as I saw you in the distance. So you beat all the lords, huh? Damn, you really must be a hero.
I just did what I had to. So can you send anybody to help Ganeth Haros?
I think we can help out. I'll hit up the other resistance groups and rustle up some support. I doubt they'll have a problem sending people once I mention it's you who's asking.
Thanks. If you guys can help out, that'll give us a chance to do something about that wedge out in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's something only you guys can handle. Speaking of which, that thing's out in the middle of the ocean. How do you even plan on reaching it?
By boat. We're about to go look for one.
No rest for the weary, I see. Hey, what happened to that mask you used to wear?
It's a long story. Let's just say I lost it.
I sure never expected to run into Bregan.
Cyslodia's probably in good hands with him.
Yeah, now we can focus on finding a ship.
A boat, huh? Where are we gonna find one of those? It's not the kind of thing people just leave lying around.
Especially not Renans. For an Imperial power, they never have shown much interest in maritime expansion. Still, I dare say there should be the odd small vessel here and there.
All well and good, but that structure's slap bang in the middle of the ocean. A fishing boat won't cut it.
Let's just try to find one that won't sink us halfway out, yeah? Not that it needs to be a huge galley like Almeidria's or anything.
Just as well, since we've passed, let's see, literally 0 huge galleys.
All I know is we have to reach that thing in the ocean. Anything that might work, I say we try it. Thanks to Bregan, it seems like Ganeth Harrows should be in good hands, at least.
I wonder who they'll send to look after things. It'll be someone from one of the other resistance organizations, no doubt.
They could do a whole lot worse than someone like Doc. A knowledge of medicine would go a long way there.
Wait, do you mean the old guy back in Calaglia? Ganeth Harrows would be one hell of a trek from there. He'd have to get here first.
My brother's old second-in-command, Legil, would be a perfect fit, too. Pity she'll probably still have her hands tied up with work in Menancia.
Mahag Saar will be the same story. They won't have the manpower as it is, let alone enough to start exporting it.
Man, everyone's still struggling to get back on their feet, huh?
Knowing Bregan, he'll probably take things into his own hands. He seems like the kind of guy who enjoys a challenge.
Thinking back on it now, though, it does kind of make you realize just how many people we've gotten to know in each of the places we visited.
That's true. And each and every connection we forged is priceless. Anyway, we can trust Bregan to take care of things from here. Come on, let's focus on the task at hand. Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Something on your mind?
Yeah, you could say that. It's just, well, there's something that's been eating away at me for a long, long time. Do you mind if I share it with you?
Of course not. I'm glad to listen.
See, my mom and dad used to tell me I shouldn't go around casting magic, but there was one time I did, behind their backs. And when I did, Almeidria showed up.
Huh?
I hated Almeidria for destroying everything I loved. But what I hated most was myself. For breaking my promise to my parents. Even though I swore I'd get revenge, there was always this nagging part of me that wondered if I even had any right to do so.
Rinwell, it was Almeidria who killed your family. Don't torment yourself over one mistake.
How can you say that when my mother and father died because of me?
This may not comfort you much, but I'll say it anyway. I have a feeling your parents always knew something like that might happen.
What do you mean?
There was always a chance that someday, someone was going to find you and your family. But even knowing the risks, they still taught you magic. And there are 2 reasons I can think of for that. First, your talent. Second, they were hedging their bets.
Huh? On what?
On you, Rinwell. On how you turn out when you grew up. Sure, learning magic may invite danger, but it would have been even more dangerous to live in hiding without being able to defend yourself. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they taught you magic. And I think they did it because of how much they loved you.
Because my mother and father loved me.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't be putting words into your parents' mouths.
No, it's okay. I used to think I would have been better off if I never knew how to use magic. And if I'm really honest with myself, sometimes I still think that. But after traveling around with all of you guys, I've learned that there are things I can do with magic. That there's a point to it after all. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm gonna try and accept it as part of who I am. I want to use it to protect my friends. To protect the future of Dana. Do you think that's selfish of me?
Not at all. I wouldn't want it any other way with you, Rinwell. After mastering countless recipes and gathering enough ingredients to last a lifetime, I finally cooked my greatest, grandest masterpiece! Mabo Curry! This is a specially made, one-of-a-kind batch. It contains only the best combination of spices, chosen after a lot of trial and error.
You're...
Spices.
I think I'll have some later after everyone else. I'm not that hungry right now.
You sure?
It does smell pretty tasty now that you mention it.
The heat from the spices is intense, but not persistent, so it's easy to go back for seconds.
You're making a good case for your curry, Alphen. What the hell? Serve me up!
Oh wow, this is actually good.
To be honest, I'm a little scared how my stomach will handle all these spices later. But they really do bring out the flavor.
Indeed. The spiciness has been so finely tuned. Why, I dare say you've made true art, Alphen.
Right? I knew you guys would like it.
Like it? I love it! This is delicious, man!
Law, really? Don't talk with your mouth full.
There's plenty for everyone, so eat as much as you like. Mind if I join you, Law? Hey, Law. About what you said before.
When?
You were telling me how there were things you wished you could have asked your dad. If you want, you can always come to me with your questions.
What brought this on all of a sudden? Don't I already lean on you enough as it is?
Still, there's plenty you would want to ask him if he was still alive, right?
I mean, yeah, but I think you'll have a hard time answering any of them, if I'm being honest.
How come?
I mean, the stuff I want to ask him about is, like, how he met my mom and how he won her over. Stuff like that. Anyway, not really something you can help with, right?
You're right. Sorry, Law. I can't even begin to imagine how to help with that.
You're telling me. I just wish there was someone experienced I could ask about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was definitely that. Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen?
What's up, Law?
You ever find yourself just wanting to give Rinwell a pat on the back?
Law?
Not in a weird way. I'm just saying, she may be sassy, but she's also trying really hard, you know? And sometimes, when I see how hard she's working, I just want to walk up and encourage her. Is that weird?
No, I can see why you might feel that way. After all, she is kind of like a little sister to everyone at this point.
Right, exactly! But I'm worried if I do it the wrong way, she'll blast me with her magic. Or if not her magic, she'll sick Hootle on me to peck my eyes out.
Yeah, there's not much you can do if she's not feeling up for it. In fact, you're not the only one struggling to close that gap.
Huh? Has Hootle attacked you too?
No, I just mean because of her thorns.
Thorns? I don't remember Rinwell having any magic like that. That sounds more like Shion than... Huh?
Anyway, Hootle's probably just worried that you're going to take Rinwell away from him. He's pretty protective, after all. Maybe your first step should be to make friends with him and go from there.
Right. That's a good idea, Alphen. I'll be sure to give that a try.
Thank goodness for Law's thick skull. Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menancia a place where Danans and Renans can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say, though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time. Wow, that's some weird-looking meat you're cooking up there. What is it exactly?
That would be grilled rapig.
What?
Whoa there! What's the big brouhaha?
It's Rapig! How could you cook something with such cute little eyes? What did it ever do to you?
I fail to see what the problem is. Rapigs are perfectly edible creatures. Having said that, I do realize it's become rather rare to eat them lately. What with people increasingly embracing them as pets and companions.
They definitely didn't fall out of fashion to eat because of their flavor, that's for sure.
Agreed. Rapigs have tender, fatty meat. The taste can take some getting used to, but I would argue that's part of its charm.
If the taste is too strong, I imagine you can either just cook it thoroughly or simmer it with some herbs to mask it.
Indeed. At first I wasn't sure whether to smoke it with spices or simmer it in water, but I opted to grill it as is instead.
Seriously, Dohalim? You have the weirdest tastes.
That's probably because when you live the life of a lord, you grow tired of most ordinary cuisine.
So you end up seeking out more unusual food. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, putting aside what it used to be, you've got to admit it does look pretty damn good. Meat is meat, after all.
That reminds me, I do believe I once read in a book about rare delicacies, how one can go about preparing an owl. I suppose I won't have the chance to try it anytime soon.
Not with Hoodle, you won't!
Well, if it ain't the Blazing Sword and his merry crew.
Mahavar? I can't believe you're still alive.
Course I am. If you landlubbers can make it out of that sinking ship alive, ain't no reason an old sea dog like me wouldn't too.
Yeah, but that wave hit hard. I'm glad to see you're okay. Sorry we put you in so much danger back there.
All water under the bridge at this point. You helped make one of my life's dreams come true. The ship, on the other hand, she took a bit of a beating, though, I'll admit.
Really? What happened to it? It looks fine to me on the outside.
She's fine now, but she was in rough shape when I made it back here. Engine chamber gave up the ghost. Without a lot of options, I decided to talk to the head honcho of the Dark Wings and see if he could help at all. And wouldn't you know it, Crazy Fool sent over Renan engineers to help. Can you believe it?
Renan?
Yep. Said they came from Menancia. They were real professionals. Did what they needed to and didn't give me guff or anything. I was damn near floored.
So they did the work themselves. Good on them.
Well, they did a bang-up job, 'cause she's better than ever now. Speaking of which, I take it she's why you're here?
Yes. We need to get out on the ocean, and fast. When can we set sail?
Give the man a minute to think it over, Alphen. He hasn't even said yes yet.
It's all right, little lady. I'm a man of the sea. I'll gladly help. Hop aboard, folks.
This thing already looked plenty huge from afar. Seeing it up close makes it really hit home.
I didn't expect the journey to go so smoothly. I figured the Renans would send something to sink us.
Maybe they didn't think we had the nerve to come.
Somehow I kinda doubt that.
It's entirely possible they don't see us as a threat.
What do you mean?
That they think they're beyond our reach. Still, this structure is quite the unusual sight. Truth be told, never seen anything like it.
You're right. It doesn't look like the buildings on Lenegis at all. Or like any Renan structure for that matter.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like the kind of thing that has people inside either. Yeah, it's definitely something creepy. What the hell is it even made of?
I don't know. It's not mechanical or biological, but it's definitely alive in some way.
Shion?
I'm okay. It's nothing.
Well, what do we do now?
We have to stop this thing from siphoning off all of Dana's astral energy. That means finding the core and smashing it to bits.
Okay, but look at the size of it. I don't know if we'll find the core just wandering around.
Good point. Can anyone get a read on the astral energy around us? Any kind of a sign?
There's a rather enormous flow of energy moving directly upwards. If we wish to follow it, we'll have to do some climbing.
Rinwell?
Over there?
Hey, what's up with you?
Huh?
You okay? What happened?
I'm not sure. When I was reaching out to the astral energy, I thought I heard a voice.
A voice?
Yeah. I couldn't make out any words, but it sounded like it wanted me to come to it.
This seems like a trap, right?
It's not a trap.
How can you tell?
Listen, I don't know why, but when it spoke to me, I knew it wasn't hostile.
What do you think?
It could well be a trap. However, it's also our only real option short of wandering aimlessly about.
Let's trust Rinwell on this.
You sure?
Yeah.
It beats the alternative, I guess. What did I say? Sheesh, it's like walking on eggshells around here.
Sometimes you have to choose your words more carefully, Law.
Huh? Oh, right.
I see that the interior of the wedge is every bit as strange and unusual as the exterior. Intriguing.
If I didn't see it come from Lenegis, I wouldn't believe it was Renan. Just what's with this place?
Yeah, it's all twisty and lumpy. Whatever it's all for, I'm stumped.
This is all Dana's astral energy.
Are you saying the Renans are funneling it through here to send to Lenegis?
Sure looks like it. We have to put a stop to it, quickly. This place definitely isn't easy to navigate, that's for sure.
I doubt this structure was conceived with the ease of people's movement in mind.
Yeah. We've been seeing nothing but Zoogle nests.
It's almost as if we're inside an incredibly immense spirit vessel of some sort.
A spirit vessel? If that's the case, then that would make Lenegis the master core that's receiving all the astral energy.
Hey, have you heard that voice again since we came in here?
Oh, so now you believe me.
I never said I didn't believe you.
The further in we go, the stronger the voice gets.
Is that a sign we're going the right way then?
Where's this voice coming from? Can you tell?
Yeah, kind of. I hear it inside me, but I feel like it's also coming from every direction around us. It's hard to describe. It's almost like it's surrounding me.
Surrounding, huh?
Considering astral energy is involved, it's not that unusual.
Right, but it's not scary or anything. Listening to it is really soothing.
If you think so, just promise you'll say something if the voice gets too clingy or anything.
I promise.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Thinking some more about how to realize your ideals?
No. Actually, I've been trying not to obsess about it as much as before. I find when I think too much about my ideals, I get hung up on the reality of things and lose sight of what's really important. I know what it's like to go hungry, to lose your family. That should be reason enough to fight for a better society, so nobody else has to. Sorry about that.
Even thinking about things will make you hungry after a while. You wait here. I'll go whip something up for you.
Thanks for the food.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Just impressed at how good of a cook you've become.
Well, we've been on this journey for a while now, so I've had more than a few opportunities to hone my skills.
Yeah, and now I have a good meal in me. There's a simple kind of happiness that comes with that, you know? One that's more powerful and convincing than complicated logic can be.
That reminds me of something Law said, about how talking too much doesn't put food in people's stomachs.
That sounds like Law. But it's true nonetheless. When you get down to it, all you really need is enough food to keep you full and to be surrounded by people you love. Everything else comes second.
Speaking of people you love, I haven't heard you talk about Miguel much lately.
Wow, okay. Way to make me feel like the worst sister ever. But you're right, I haven't. If I'm honest, I think it's because I finally found other people I love just as much. Whatever kind of society we end up having after this, it needs to be a place where I know you all can be happy. That's my starting point for now.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? Another fine day for journeying, huh?
Tell me, do you ever find yourself tiring of the vagabond existence?
It's better than being enslaved, that's for sure. I get to pick my own destination, for starters. You don't get those luxuries as a slave.
Shackle a man's feet, and you put a clamp on his heart as well.
Then there was the food. Gross slop that left you in a permanent state of hunger. Ugh, you wouldn't believe the things I ate to keep from starving. What about you? This must all sound pretty alien to someone who used to be a lord.
Is that a hint of interest in my past I detect?
I guess that's one way to put it.
Well, certainly starvation was never a concern I had to contend with. The day-to-day grind was largely taken care of for me. I even had help getting in and out of clothes. All that was required of me was standing still while looking solemn.
That's quite the downgrade you've made. It's a wonder you don't sound more bitter.
This might surprise you, but I actually don't find our current situation all that disagreeable. My own hardships paled in comparison to yours, granted. But life as a lord came laden with its own restrictions. Forgive me. Such complaints must sound like feeble extravagances to a Dahnan.
True, Renin Opulence doesn't feature high on my sympathy list. Then again, yours isn't exactly a normal case.
I suppose it's not. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder how much easier life would have been without the trappings of nobility.
You really mean that?
Pay me no heed. Naught but the ramblings of a privileged eccentric. Whatever my past, it has led to my being here. That is all the reality I need concern myself with.
Here?
It's here?
Yes. All the energy flowing through the wedge comes together and collects here.
Is that thing a Zoogle? Holy crap, it's huge!
A central core and a guardian?
Once we beat that thing, it'll stop the wedge from taking in any more astral energy, right?
It seems we're in for a fight regardless.
Here it comes.
Stay sharp, everyone!
Is there no end to what the Renins can cook up?
I don't know if that's machine or what, but I do know it's pissing me off!
Watch yourself. There is no knowing what it is capable of.
Any other wisdom you want to pass along?
Sky is
Rising
mine!
Wyvern! Hurricane Thrust! Rising Fire!
Here!
Burn!
Dazzle!
Look here!
Take this!
By the
Look
power
sharp!
of flame! Finish without a trace!
Rising Eagle! Tear!
We may get out of this alive after all.
Yeah, things were looking bad for a minute there.
I'm pretty sure we can handle anything.
The flame inside me yearns to be let go!
Glacial Spear!
Eater!
Freeze Lancer!
Beast assault!
Be still! Rising Falcon!
Radiant Pierce!
Armor won't save you!
I'm out
Dazzle!
of ammo! I'm all
Dragon
stopped
Shell!
up!
Rising
Annihilation!
Falcon!
Downfall! Take it! I'm all stuffed up! Annihilation!
Dragon Shell!
By the power of
Take
flame!
Look sharp!
Finish without a trace!
Beast!
Ready!
Dragon Shell!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Dragon Shell!
I'm on a
Don't
roll
mind if
now!
I do! If it's in the sky, it's
Flaming
mine!
Thrust! Rising Falcon!
Leave the chargers to
Rising
me!
Wyvern!
now!
Hurricane Thrust! Eater!
Here I go! Into the shadows!
Dragon Shell!
No chance! Denied!
Punch!
By the power of
Rising
flame!
Wyvern!
Finish without a trace!
In a bind?
Dragon Shell! Tear!
Explosion!
Hurricane
Hear me!
Thrust!
Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Anything in armor is all mine!
By the power of flame!
Try harder!
The armor won't save you!
Dragon Shout!
Explosion! Hear me!
Reinforcements
Flame of
incoming!
Fury!
Not a
Roar
problem!
now!
Spear!
Eagle
You're
assault!
on!
I'll finish
The
you
flame
here and now!
inside me yearns to be let free!
Talon
Here
Hurricane!
goes!
Let me help! First aid! Don't mind if I do!
No, I won't give in!
Plan to me!
Inferno Punch!
They've got me in their sights.
Time to show today!
Rising
So much for sitting this fight out.
That
The
wouldn't be
enemy
a
wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that! Here, let me help!
Fire Blade!
Finish
All
you
right.
here and now!
Now where was
Infernal Torrent!
Primed and ready! I never miss!
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane!
Double Demon Fang!
Rip and tear!
Glacial
It's
Spear!
on!
Pierce the evil!
Burn in hell!
Swallow dance!
Take this!
Eagle assault!
far enough?
I'll smash you!
Double Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear! Pierce the evil!
Demon Fang!
Can't get out of this!
Hurricane Strike!
Punch!
Radiant Pierce!
It was nice while it lasted.
Art expert coming through! Will this help?
Take this!
Super
Hurricane!
damage! Talon Hurricane! There you go.
Annihilation!
Now I'm in the groove.
By the power
It's
of
on!
water!
Swallow
Annihilation!
dance!
Radiant light!
Eat dirt!
Here! I'll fix you up!
Talon,
Recover!
you're mine! Start!
By the power of flame! Vanish without a trick! Here,
Thrust! Rising Falcon!
Searing
Burn! Pierce through!
Death
Blossom! Rising Wyvern!
Take it.
Here, let me help!
I could do without this pain!
Showtime!
Rising Falcon!
you!
Radiant light!
The enemy's on the
This
ropes.
one's mine!
We've got him where we want him. It's time to end this battle.
No escape!
Radiant
Tear!
here! Eagle assault! I'm out
Rising
of ammo!
Phoenix! Can't get out of this!
Weapons weak!
Inflaming Thrust!
Power! Do it! Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Is it over?
What the hell is going on?
Ridwell! It's too dangerous! Stay back!
What's going on here? This warmth.
Dan?
Rinwell, you okay?
Hey, are you crying?
I'm not the only one.
I heard it. Whatever it was, I heard it.
As did I. I'm not sure I'd call it a voice, but it was there.
What in the world just happened?
That was Dana's astral energy we just encountered. And I think what we heard might have been its voice?
You're saying astral energy has a mind of its own?
I haven't the slightest idea. But do you remember what happened when we fought Balseph back in Calaglia?
You mean when that fire monster came out of the spirit vessel?
Exactly. There was such a huge overflow of astral energy, it caused a monster to spawn and take physical form. Maybe the same thing happened here, just with way more astral energy and a bigger monster.
Does that mean if you gather enough astral energy, it can become sentient or take a physical form?
That's what I'm guessing, but it's just speculation. Master Cores are able to hold a lot more energy than a spirit vessel, but we still haven't seen anything like that happen in our dealings with them.
That being said, there may be a mechanism of sorts inside Master Cores and spirit vessels that prevent such reactions.
That fire monster. I remember how it only appeared after Balsef's spirit vessel broke.
Then the reason Rinwell was able to sense all that astral energy earlier must have been because it was too much for that Zoogle to contain by itself.
So, then where do you think the Zoogle went? All that energy and poof, it's gone. The Zoogle with it. Doesn't that sound weird to anyone?
Indeed it does. However, in order for us to move our hypothesis forward, we will need to gather more evidence first. On that note, how are you holding up, Rinwell?
I just can't work out why. Why the voice reached out to me first.
Rinwell?
I can't help but wonder if it's because of my heritage that I was the one to hear it. Sorry. That's a strange thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, we should get going, right? We need to make sure the energy flow has actually stopped.
Are we gonna have to take this winding path all the way back down, too?
Yeah, but if anything, it should be easier than the climb up.
Really? Well then,
Actually, I've heard it's easier to develop muscle aches when going down.
seriously? Everything all right? You kinda looked like you wanted to get something off your chest.
Huh? Oh,
Or not, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah?
Sorry, never mind. Just forget it.
You want to try being a little less cryptic, maybe? Ah, all right, jeez. Sorry for taking an interest.
Stop it! It's okay, Hootle! Sorry. I guess I still don't really know how to put it into words.
Nah, that's fine. No rush. It might help you to talk about it, though.
I'll keep that in mind. And thanks.